All right, guys, NFL Week 9. I'm ready to get into it. I got a little bit of a second wind over here, but I do need to get to sleep here pretty soon. It's like after 2 o'clock where I'm at. But let's talk some football. I'm taking all fantasy score for tomorrow. Um, we've got some fun matchups, and I found 3 plays that I'm like all about the fantasy score. Before we break these down, though, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like the video if you enjoy the content. Again, I'm not going to say this every single video. You guys get sick of it, but we appreciate it. You guys have been killing it. So
he's an honest man.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's a huge help. Like we're trying to go full time with this, and that's the best thing that you can do to support the channel. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right, so let's talk about the promotions we're running real quick. Parlay Play, our new platform that we're partnered with. We're running a promotion right now. If you sign up using our code, it's code BACKDOOR. If you use that code, you're going to get your normal stuff from Parlay Play, which is 100% deposit match up to $100 plus a $5 promo slip. So instead of a free pick, they're giving you a full slip. So they're just going to basically throw you an extra $5. But it's fun. They gave us one too, and we enjoyed playing that first promo slip. But on top of that, if you use code BACKDOOR, we're going to give you a month in our Discord too for the Parlay Play promo. All you have to do to get the month in Discord is email us at bdfantasysports@gmail.com, and then just let us know the email that you signed up with and whatnot. We'll confirm it with Parlay Play. They update us daily, and so you got to use the code though. Excuse me. Otherwise, they won't hook us up with our kickback, and so this way we all get hooked up.
Yeah, to add to that while he chokes to death, I am also doing something different right now. I wanted to mention it really quick. In the Discord, I'm only saying in the Discord because it would be too hard to do it in a video. It would just take too much time and the lines get moved and stuff. But I'm doing a thing right now where I'm doing like a little challenge in the Discord where I'm trying to turn $10 into $1,000 with 2-man slips. So if you want to be a part of that, I'm going to be dropping those plays every night in Discord. So that's another place you can get that. It would just be too hard to do it in the videos to do all that research and stuff. So I want to take my time with it and really make it good. So, all
right. Yeah. Shout out the challenge. I'll tail them with you.
All right.
Come turn me into 1,000 there, bro.
Oh yeah.
Do it. All right. So also our other partner, Underdog. If you guys want to sign up for Underdog, they've got a killer promotion as well. Up to $1,000 in bonus cash, plus a free pick to help you cash your first slip. Just use code BACKDOOR. There's a link in the description for all of our partners. So if you guys want to sign up and diversify, it's all right there. Let's talk about the plays. My favorite play is my boy Bijan Robinson here, 17.5 fantasy score. And I'm really confident in this play. I'm really confident in all 3 of these plays. And I've been just kind of like simplifying it and going fantasy score because Jordy and I are obsessed with fantasy football and Dynasty in particular. We're in a very competitive league and it's full point PPR. It's the same settings as these platforms do. So I'm just going to I love these plays. If they were on my roster, which Bijan is, I would be very confident in them having a killer week with these matchups. So 17.5 fantasy score for Bijan. Cedric Tillman, they're still not paying him the respect he deserves. I'm like, are you guys aware of who he is? 10.5 fantasy score. I'll take it for more. And then Jameis Winston, this is just hilarious. 15.5 fantasy score. What are we doing here? I'll take it for more. But anyways, I'm going to say all that and they're going to all bust. But no, I'm really confident in these. But okay, what do you got, Jordy?
Yeah, so to get into mine here, make sure that... Okay, cool. So I'm going to be taking Jonathan Taylor for over 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns. Love this line. Taking David Montgomery. Surprisingly, this is not a goblin. Taking this over 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdown as well. And then I got my boy Derek Carr. He's finally healthy. He's coming back right in time to versus Carolina. So taking him over 1.5 passing touchdowns as well. Feeling really good about all 3 of these. All 6 of them, to be honest. I think this is finally the week, man.
Me too. Parlay Play just updated and picks went away again. So hopefully we're good to go. It's still showing me that I got mine locked in though. So if for any reason, just keep an eye. Like they were kind of updating some stuff. So yeah, they're very simple. The plays aren't really the type of plays that should bump too much, but let's start breaking these down. So, all right, let's start with Bijan Robinson. That's Jameis. There's Bijan. Okay, he's been on a burner. Like when he wasn't doing great, he had like a lingering injury going on. I mean, these two games here, let's just go to 2024, the whole thing. Yeah, like, okay, so yeah, lingering injury, and
to be fair, those first two are Philly and Pittsburgh.
Philly and Pittsburgh, yeah, and he still went for 16.1 and 16.2, so he was really like knocking on the door. But he's been the issue he was having at that first two is he wasn't getting as many goal line looks, and everyone's like, what's going on? This is why we wanted Arthur Smith out of here, like, you know, and so he wasn't getting touchdowns. So I'm pretty sure, let's look at those touchdowns. Yeah, so he got one in week 3. But yeah, no touchdowns, and he was still getting those first 2 weeks 16 fantasy score without a touchdown. It's a different story right now. Now the workload has been through the roof over the last 3 weeks, because these 3 weeks here he was actually dealing with a little bit of an injury. I think it may have been like a hamstring or something like that. You know, it's when they were asking him about it, and he was just like, I'm a little bit bruised up. I just need to heal a little bit. And so they were giving Tyler Algier a little bit more work. That has not been the case lately. Starting against Carolina this week, which is like 3 weeks ago, he had a full workload and he went off. 25.5 fantasy score. Following week, 23.3, 23.6. Now he's playing the Dallas Cowboys. Like, I'm taking this all day. We have a 51.5 point over under.
Better watch that tone.
I know. my voice is done for the night. I'm gonna try to get through this.
My Cowboys in a bad manner, and he started choking.
Oh yeah, it's just. I mean, it's a low hanging fruit, man. It's so easy to make fun of these guys, but and then we got the Falcons though, favored by 3 in this matchup, but expecting a high scoring game. Bijan, like, he doesn't even need to get into the end zone with the type of work he's been getting, but I think he's getting in the end zone again this week. Let's go back here. So yeah, if we take a look at the TDs, I don't even think so he's had touchdowns in all 3 of those games. But if we take a look at the receptions, pretty solid too. So 3 receptions, 3, and then he pops off for 7 in this last game against Tampa Bay. He's an excellent pass catcher, but on Prize Picks and parlay play, we're getting full point PPR. So those 7 catches were equal to, you know, more than a touchdown last week. You get 7 points right there. I'm just not concerned about this play at all. If you look at the matchup against running backs, wait, that's the reception. So yeah, 9th in receptions allowed. I get it. That's like a little bit above average. But if you look at the rushing and receiving yards, 23rd in rushing yards allowed, 26th in receiving yards allowed. It's just a cake matchup. It's a cake matchup. You can only do that when you're on the screen too, bro. But yeah, so I'm loving Bijan to get this done. I don't need to like overthink this, and I guarantee you Daily Grind is going to be like, no, he's not going to do it. Yeah, because it's a fantasy score prop and it's bumped up higher than other platforms, so they don't like it. So if you guys don't want to take this, don't take it. I'm not trying to act like so confident that it's just a bust. And it's like, of course, I was way too confident, but I'm like really excited about this matchup. 52.28% odds to hit the under, minus 109. So, you know, part of the reason that it's a little higher on Prize Picks is just because of the full point PPR. So that doesn't deter me at all. I'm taking this all day. Let's talk about Jameis Winston here. I don't understand this at all. 15.5 is just ridiculous for fantasy score. You know, he got the start against Baltimore, and he pops off for 3 touchdowns. And what did he go for? Like 300 plus yards, right? Like, I think it was like 338, 334. So the matchup is a little bit tougher. against the Chargers here, 9th in passing yards allowed, and then passing touchdowns. Like, the Chargers are a solid defense. I totally get it, but 15.5 is just way too low. Number 1 in touchdowns allowed. Passing touchdowns is actually super juicy, 22nd passing touchdowns allowed. So, I mean, if you guys play fantasy football, you know that this line's just simply set too low. It's as easy as that. Let's see what Daily Grind thinks. My gosh, where are you at? Yeah, they have it favored to go over. 51.46% odds to hit the over. So yeah, all these other platforms are actually bumping it up into the 16s already. So lock this in at 15 and a half. It's probably going to go up. Maybe they bump it up to 16 and a half before game time, which I'm still comfortable with, but 15 and a half is just like, yeah, I got to take this. And then the last play correlates with Winston, and that's Cedric Tillman, who was like the waiver wire pickup of the year. Some of you are familiar. I'm just like, they're setting his fantasy score at 10 and a half. In the last 2 weeks, he went for 18.1, and then last week against Baltimore, 28.9. So I just want the fantasy score so I can get a little bit of everything. If we look at the targets he's getting with Jameis, 9 targets, and then he had 12 against Cincinnati. Let's do a little experiment here. I think he's only played the one game. Is it just the one game without Deshaun Watson? Let's take a look. Take Deshaun out of the equation. Yeah. So the one game that he played full with Jameis Winston was that game against Baltimore, and he went for almost 30 fantasy score. So these are like, Jameis is one of those quarterbacks that he's pretty like defense proof. Like, he's just a gunslinger, and he's rejuvenated, excited. He talks about how he got his LASIK surgery. He's playing with a lot more accuracy, but he's going to spread the ball around. He's going to be moving the ball, up and down the field. So I want pieces of this. 42.5 point over under, and Chargers favored by 1.5. That's high scoring enough. I think that they're going to go over that 42.5. If the Chargers can keep things rolling, I don't think that I would not be favoring the Chargers to win this game in Cleveland, personally. Like, they just went and they just beat Baltimore. Like, I don't think the Chargers offense is as explosive as Baltimore's, and I don't think that their defense is as good as Baltimore's, and Cleveland beat them. So I'm all over this play. Let me give you a little bit more detail about Cedric Tillman, though. If we take a look at the receiving yards matchup, 4th in receiving yards allowed. So yeah, I get it. They're tough on paper. He went for 99 last week, 81 the week before that against Cincinnati. And we know that that game against Cincinnati is when Deshaun Watson went down. So Deshaun Watson started that game. Jameis ended the game, finished it up, and the offense instantly came to life when Jameis took over.
Yeah,
so
they almost came back and won.
Yeah, so I think that this is going to be a turning point for the Browns, and we can get ahead of this. Cedric Tillman set way too low right now. Jameis Winston is just set way too low right now. Like, his should be, Jameis Winston week to week, his fantasy score on these platforms should be at like 17 and a half at least. It should be up there with the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. So I'm happy that we're getting these. If you guys want to check out Outlier, this app here, there's a link in the description to just try it out for free. You can see it's really helpful to help you like break down. You can look at all sorts of different categories. Speaking of which, let's look at those targets real quick. Yeah, I think we did 9 and 12. So he's getting plenty of targets, and he's reeling them in 7 and 8. So that right there in full point PPR is 7 points and 8 points. It's set at 10 and a half. If he gets in the end zone, like, this is definitely going to cash, but he won't even need to get into the end zone for this to happen. This is going to happen unless he just randomly is just a ghost and doesn't get targeted, which I just don't see an outcome that goes that way. But if you guys want to check out Outlier, use the link in the description of the video, and you can just try it out for free. You can use it for tomorrow and have it for a full week for basketball and football. So try it out for free. You can take advantage of that. But all right, Jordy.
All right.
I'll let you take over, bro.
No sweat, man. Sweet. So yeah, I've got Jonathan Taylor for over 0.5 rushing touchdowns. This one, to me, I feel like him and David Montgomery are just in the same book in my opinion, where it's like these guys are good for like a rushing touchdown every week. It feels like it's like almost an 80% chance for them to get in. Like if these teams get into the red zone, these guys are going to get the ball 3 times to try to get it in. He's gone over this in 4 out of 5 games already this year. He only had 1 red zone attempt against Green Bay. They had a tough time in that game with turnovers and stuff like that. So a lot of things kept them out of the red zone. They only scored 10 points in that whole game against Green Bay. So it was a rough game. Tough game against Minnesota. 10th in rushing touchdowns allowed to running backs. So, it's a little bit of a tough matchup, but I still like it. I still think he'll go over it, no problem. That's just my opinion. There's no head-to-head to look at here. So if we look at daily grind for this one as well, they also favor it to go over at a 50.54% chance and a -123. So it's truly a 50-50 shot to go over here. So just my consensus on this play. I love Jonathan Taylor to get into the end zone on this play. And then for my next one, David Montgomery. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys too much about this one. Outlier is telling us here that Sion Vaki is out. So David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are getting all the work here. I'm glad we know that. But, already this year in 7 games, David Montgomery has scored a rushing and receiving touchdown in 6 out of 7 of these games already. In the head-to-head, he scored in every head-to-head against Green Bay. 1 game against them last year, he had 3 touchdowns. The game after that, he had 1. So it's always a shootout with these guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, just keep this in mind. This is just like a little note to if he does play. Jordan Love's fantasy score is at 15.5, which is absolutely ridiculous. So if he does play, obviously he's going to be a little hobbled with the groin injury. But 15.5 fantasy score for Jordan Love feels pretty dang good. So I'm going to be definitely keeping that in mind tomorrow. But anyway, going back to Montgomery here, I think this matchup's going to be pretty solid. So if you look at touchdowns allowed to running backs, Green Bay's 13th, giving up a 0.8 a game to running backs and 2.5 overall touchdowns allowed. So I like it. I think Montgomery is definitely going to just remain getting the goal line work when it's, like a 10 to 5 yard situation in the red zone. When they're in the red zone with like 20 yards to go, it's usually Jahmyr Gibbs trying to get them closer, and sometimes he rips it off and just gets it himself. But a lot of the times they're giving Montgomery that goal line work to go get the touchdown. So really liking this one here as well. If we look at this on daily grind, it's his top play, -135, a 52.15% chance. I mean, I'm not even sure why this is not a goblin, but I'll take it for sure. Getting that on all platforms as well. Maybe they know something I don't. Maybe he's still a little hobbled. I don't know. I think he'll get it done no matter what. So that's just my opinion. Next up, I've got Derek Carr for my last play here over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I mean, what's not to love about this line in this matchup? Derek Carr, yes, he is a little shook up with the ribs still. 29th in passing touchdowns allowed to quarterbacks is what Carolina's sitting at right now. They're giving up 2 a game. That's literally all we need from Derek Carr. The first game of the year, I mean, they went for 47 points on him, and he threw 3 passing touchdowns. So I love this line. I mean, I think Derek Carr will do his job. I think he'll get in there, and obviously he doesn't have Rashid Shaheed, who had a huge game in that game. Bub Means is now hurt. He's on IR. Hopefully, let's see. So it looks like Chris Olave is good to go. So that's really what matters also. And so is Alvin Kamara. So we should see plenty of passing work.
Taysom Hill.
Okay, yeah. So we should see plenty of passing work. He'll have plenty of guys to throw to who can get in the end zone. As long as Taysom Hill is not like running the touchdowns in, that's like worst case scenario. And same with Kamara. But I think the passing work will be there for Derek Carr. So I do like it to go over. Let's look this one up on Daily Grind. So they have his passing touchdowns as a -126 to go under. maybe they're a little afraid of the vulturing. That's always a possibility with this team with Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara, so always keep that in mind. If you don't feel good about it, you don't have to take it, but I mean, in the last 2 games against them, he's gone for 2 and 3 passing touchdowns, so the dude lights them up every time they play, and their defense has just gotten worse since last year, sadly. So I like Carr in this game, so I'm going to be taking all 3 of those. If you guys want to check out the DFS optimizer from Daily Grind, you can just see how I just typed in Derek Carr and it's showing me all of his top plays right here. His top play is the interception under. Go with your gut and take what you like, but this is the best thing about the optimizer. It'll show you the best value in every league, and no matter what it is, no matter what sport, esports, sports, you know, they got everything on here. So, and you can also, you know, we're partnered with Parlay Play and Underdog. You can go right over here to those 2 platforms and take a look at what they got going on also, and get the best value on every platform, whatever you like to play on. Maybe you play better, you can get better picks on here as well. So go with your gut and take what you like on DFS Optimizer. It is so good. It'll help you cash a lot more often. So if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description below. Use code BACKDOOR at checkout and they'll give you 25% off of your first purchase. So whether or not that's like a year or a month or 3 months, whatever you want to do, you can customize your plan, but they'll give you 25% off of that first purchase if you use code BACKDOOR. So that's going to cover it all for me today.
All right. Excuse me one moment. I was locking in that 2-man challenge that you put in the Discord.
Let's go.
Also, guys, I really appreciate Jordy's soundboard. I love it, but I just think he needs to get one other sound like than the one we hear. Like,
I've got other ones, man. I've got them all loaded up here. I just love the wet fart. Like... The wet fart's the best. I mean, what's
okay? I mean, I appreciate it. I like it too. We just got to mix it up, but I want more of the soundboard for sure.
I got this one locked and loaded for Tuesday now.
Taco Tuesday.
So I've got them loaded up. The wet fart's the go-to because the wet fart is always a funny joke. So
yeah, it is. It's classic. Yeah, that one's always gonna land. Yeah. Okay, so if you guys want to come check out our Discord, just go through the Patreon link in the description of the video. Jordy is starting out his 2-man with, what was that, CS2 plays?
Yeah.
Just go. Yep. CS2. So yeah, he's kind of explaining that. He explained it a little bit, but he's got a breakdown in the Discord of how it's going to work. But if you guys want to come join us, either sign up for Parlay Play, get a free month, or if you want to just jump right into the Discord, go through Patreon. They manage our subscriptions. Once you sign up in Patreon, go into the Patreon settings. There's a connected apps option in the menu bar. And then you just go to Discord from there, and then they connect you right in there. You hop in the community chat once you're in Discord. You don't have to, but if you let us know you're new, we can make sure that you understand how everything works properly. And also the community really enjoys welcoming new members because we're just a big family in here. We have a lot of fun together. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and everything we do. We really appreciate you guys. Drop us a comment if you have any questions. I know someone already has some questions. I see a couple questions on the NBA video. We will look up some of those props for you as well. So enjoy your Sunday, guys. Good luck, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Good luck, guys.